So many times I thought you'd leave me. Broken inside, I feel I've lost my sanity. I don't believe in happy endings. Bottle my pride and hope you'd still love me in the end. Didn't want to leave your arms, but I feel like you won. You left my soul to starve. I don't believe I'm the one. Ooh, I can't show that I'm hurting. You can't know that I'm worried. I gave up in a hurry just to know I'm safe. Love is a fire and I'm burning.
Okay guys, let's give you an update on this one right here. Kamani, if you guys are new to the channel, is my 2-year and 2-month-old Mustang filly, who may or may not be pregnant. We don't know yet. Let's just say yesterday was kind of a scary day. So, I wasn't really going to do much with her yesterday, which was Sunday. I was just basically going to take her in the big barn, where you guys have seen me work the boob with the medicine chute. Because everything out here is completely soaked in mud because it's been raining, and we're supposed to get another 2 or 3 days of rain. So, you know, I didn't want to work in the mud, and if she is pregnant, we don't know, and she slips and falls, you know, it's not good for the baby, or her. So I took her down to the back barn, which she has been in because I showed you guys her eating down there. And I opened it up, and when I was filling the water trough for her out there, and she had gone in there 2 or 3 times, I think. And so I took her out there yesterday to work with her inside of the barn, just practicing some sending and some straight backing in the alleyway and some yielding and some really tight lunging circles, just to see if she could do it without kind of freaking out. Some horses can't really handle tight spaces until you do more and more and more with them. And other horses like her kind of don't care. Well, that's what I thought. So I go down to take her through the big barn doors that are down there. And I opened it about this much. Hi. Enough for her to get in. And little knothead here just completely fought me. You know, I'm chasing her around. I'm smacking her on the shoulder, trying to get her to come in. Trying to pull her in. She's just completely ignoring me and just not having it. At one point, she actually took her face, leaned it up against the barn doors, and just kind of braced against it and said, nah, I don't want to. And no, she didn't hit her nose hard or anything like that. She just kind of pushed it up there like, nah. So, I had to cheat to get her in. I had to back her in, which is good for her to back through tight spaces anyway. And so, about, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes of sending her back and forth between me and the barn wall, like I did on the fence the other day here. And I asked her to stop, and she looked at me and coughed, and blood and pink foam started pouring out of her nose. And, you know, I started messaging everybody I know. I messaged Blue Rock. I messaged a lady that we know who's got 5 horses. I messaged my neighbor up here who has horses. I called my vet twice, and he didn't want to come out, pretty much, lazy. And a few other people that my grandparents know that have had horses longer than me, obviously. And no one had ever seen or heard of anything like it. So you jump on Google, which you shouldn't do. And there's some disease in Illinois that's killing horses overnight. They're suddenly foaming at the nose, and they're dead within a couple hours. And I'm like freaking out. Oh my god, my horse is gonna die. I called the vet the first time, and he goes, well, did you work her too hard? I'm like, I've been working her for 10 minutes at a light walk trot. And you guys have seen me. I've worked her way longer and harder than that. And he goes, okay, just keep an eye on her. Like, what do you want me to do, though? Like, do you want me to give her any medicine? Do you want me to clean out her nose? What do I leave it so that if you come out later, you can swab it? Like, what? And he goes, just watch her. I gotta go. And hung up. Okay. So I called my mom panicking, like, Mom, what's going on here? My mom had never heard of anything like it. About, I don't know, an hour goes by, and and she's starting to act strange. She is acting like somebody sedated her. She's kind of just standing there like this, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep, waking up. And then she would cough, and more red blood would pour out of her nose. And then she would start swaying on her back feet only. Like, you guys know when a horse can't get comfortable, how they cough one leg, then they cough the other. Okay, but she was doing that constantly like this. As soon as she got one cough, she'd be coughing the other. Like, she couldn't get comfortable. And somebody that I was talking to goes, oh, it's colic. I go, she's not biting at her stomach. She's not kicking at her stomach. She's not laying down. She's not rolling. She's not thrashing. She's not doing anything. And at one point, you know, she walked over, and I loved on her, and as I was walking away, I got maybe about 5 steps, 10 steps away from her, and I had like a gut feeling to turn around. I turned around, and boom, she dropped to the ground, like somebody shoved her down. Like, I was like, whoa. So I call my vet, panicking. He goes, well, she's, it sounds like choke or colic. I'm like, okay, well, choke is serious, but she's eating and drinking and getting it down. And he goes, oh, well, they can still get it down even though it's choke. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So, but every case I've heard of choke, it's been an emergency. You know, it needs to be lodged out of their throat. It needs to get out of their throat. And, I mean, it doesn't, you know, cause them to stop breathing necessarily, because most people, when they hear the word choke, they think, oh, they're choking, they can't breathe. No, it just stops the food and water from going down and through, and it starts lodging more and more and more to where they can't eat or drink. So I go, well, if it's choke, don't you need to get out here, like, now? And he goes, no, just keep an eye on her. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, she's got blood pouring out of her nose. It's big and pink and foamy. She's swaying back and forth. She's acting like somebody has sedated her. Like, what the hell? Excuse my language, but seriously, and we've never had an issue with our vet. He's always been the type of vet, as soon as we notice one little thing, boom, he is out here. No excuses, doesn't matter if he's on his way to another call, unless it's more important than ours. You know what I mean? Like, he's never been that type of person. And then he goes, well, it could be choke, colic, mix. I'm like, well, she's not acting colicky besides the one time that she dropped. So the other thing that was really strange was she literally looked like she gained about 15 pounds in a couple of minutes. Like, the weight she's at now, she was like literally out to here. Like, it looked like she was going to pop and give birth within a matter of minutes. And I sat out here for a good 2.5, 3 hours with her and did not leave her. And I checked on her throughout the night, and it started to get where every time she would cough, the blood would come out. So I'm panicking, calling the vet again and again. Oh, just watching. He goes, do you have any Bute? I was like, nope. He goes, what do you have? I go, well, I have the antibiotic that you gave me when she first got here and she was sick. He goes, okay, give her that. Okay, whatever. And I checked on her a few times throughout the night, and she wasn't 100%, but there wasn't blood coming out anymore. It was brown. Like, if they went and rolled in the dirt and then they got a runny nose, that's what it looked like. And she still has a little bit of that, and her lips are really, really wet. If you look at her lips, they're pretty wet. Like, she's got a lot of saliva. But she's been fine, and her stomach went down about 1 o'clock this morning and went back to the normal size that it is right now. So I am not exactly sure if it was choke, if it was colic, if it was a mixture of both, if it was something completely different. But until she's done with her antibiotic and until her lips aren't as wet and her nose isn't dripping, we're not going to bring Duke up to where she's at. I do plan on doing a makeover video with him soon because he's looking horrible out in that field. Not like skinny or anything, but dirty. But the point is to watch your horses and to keep an eye on, because I was literally working her at a light trot, a light walk, and within a few minutes, when I asked her to roll, she just coughed, and this happened all of a sudden. People asked, okay, did she bump her nose? Did she break her nose? Is there any cuts, marks, anything on her face? No, not one thing is on, not a single mark. I can play with her nose. You know, she's not in any pain when I touch her face. Nothing like that. So, you know, I'm pretty sure if she had a broken face, broken nose, she would have some type of reaction to me playing with her face. Not always, but I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be eating like a pig. So last night she got, last night she only got 1 flake for dinner because if it was choke, I didn't want her eating a ton and getting more of a lodge. But, you know, you do have to feed them. They have to eat still. And then this morning she devoured her medication and her 2 flakes. And as you can see right now, she's devouring her 2 flakes of dinner. Again, she's still got a runny nose, but it's not bloody. It's brown like dirt, almost like an infection. And she's got a lot of saliva on her lips. But we're keeping an eye on her. Other than that, other than the runny nose and the wet mouth, she's acting completely normal. Completely pushy, like always, little turd. So she got sick with something yesterday. I'm not sure what it was, but this is just a reality of horses. And Blue Rock and I were talking, and you know, when I bought Kamani, I had $150 saved up for an emergency. I didn't think I'd need it right away, you know. Remember, as soon as she got here, her and Boob got sick, and I had to pay for the medication and 2 to 3 different types of grain because this one was picky, and a new feed bowl so that they wouldn't cross-contaminate. And Blue Rock made the point of having a couple grand put up when you buy a horse, which is a very, very good idea, and I just didn't think about it when I was buying her. And I definitely know now, you know, I'm going to make an account just for her. Well, I'm not going to say just for her. For all of my pets, there's going to be a joint account that I'm going to start putting money into and have a credit card for. And that way, you know, I don't touch that credit card. I don't take money out of that credit card or anything like that. She's doing so much better. She's on antibiotics until they're gone, and we're going to go from there. And that is an update on her. And I definitely checked for a abortion or miscarriage this morning in the pasture, because for her to gain clear out to here and then a couple hours later she's clear back to here normal, I for sure thought she's miscarrying or aborting, as did my mother. I checked the entire pasture twice and no sign of any foal or any placenta or any blood. I've lifted up her tail and I've checked her butt and her vagina, and there's no blood, no liquid, nothing there. She's pooping, she's peeing, she's eating, she's drinking. That's the other thing. While her nose was bleeding, she was eating, drinking, pooping, and peeing completely normal, except for the swaying and acting like she was sedated and coughing and blood coming out of her nose. So that just goes to show you, horses, things can happen like that. So, you know, think about that. I honestly didn't think about that when I bought her, because I've had horses my whole life, and we've never had a horse just come up suddenly sick and then be fine a couple hours later. So, well, I should say about 6 to 8 hours later, but still, just keep that in mind when buying horses, and take Blue Rock Horsemanship's advice and have a good $2,000 to $3,000 put up, because you never know. She could have needed an emergency surgery last night, and I don't have the money, so they're just gonna put her to sleep. So that is Kamani's little story time. Definitely still keeping my eye on her today. She seems back to normal. She's running around feeling frisky and being a pig. So she's definitely back to herself, except for a little bit of a runny nose and a wet mouth. And she's still a bit of a spaz that freaks out at everything. See?